What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. Another Bendel purchase to review today. This one is from the line of L'Artisan Parfumeur. I have reviewed 3 from that house already. I've reviewed Zing, T for 2, and Coeur de Vetiver Sacra. And I'm reviewing this one because it's from their Explosion d'Emotion higher end line. This one is called Skin on Skin. I gave the first 3 from that line a look at Bendel. The line had 3 released last year and 3 released this year. The first 3 were Amour Nocturne, Deliria, and Skin on Skin. And I also gave the first 3 a look when they came out, and I thought they were decent. I didn't like Deliria at all, even though the notes of apple, rum, and toffee really appealed to me. There was like this magnetic nature to it that threw me off, but they were all at the Bendel sale. All of the fragrances from the house, sorry, let me just adjust that a little bit. All of the fragrances from this line, and I sprayed this one on my wrist because it was interesting off of the tester strip, and within 10 minutes I decided that a 50% off down from $280 to $140, that this would be worthwhile to add to my collection. I'm not going to give the history of the house here. That's not what this review is about. If that interests you, which it probably should, check out the review that I did on Coeur de Vetiver Sacra. But to me, they are probably, I think, when everything taken into account, L'Artisan Parfumeur, I'm talking about quality, packaging, price, presentation, history, you know, one of the best, if not the best, niche brands of all time. Whether or not they were the first or not can be debated, but the variation in their line, the perfumers they have, through their scents from Giacobetti to Jean-Claude Ellena to Bertrand Duchaufour, you really have to not know fragrance to not know and love this line. That's just my opinion. Now, as I said, the first time I looked at this line, I was a little taken back at the prices. To me, $280 is a lot of money for a fragrance. And the concept behind this line is an intense emotional expression with the best materials available. And to make these creations, they enlisted the master himself, Bertrand Duchaufour. The first 3 came out late in 2013, and 3 more just dropped in 2014. The goal behind this one was to awaken our animal instinct. It comes in one size, 120 ml, bottled in eau de parfum concentration, and retails for $280. Notes on this guy are iris, suede, velvet, leather, saffron, whiskey, lavender, rose, and musk. And as far as your presentation goes, huge box. You guys can just see, huge box, has a suede like feel to it. Nothing on the bottom. 4.2 ounces here. You have the name of the fragrance in house, L'Artisan Parfumeur, Skin on Skin, sort of glued on. It's like a gold plate. And then when you want to take the fragrance out, sorry, I'm doing this off camera. It's giving me a hard time. You actually have to slide the back out. And when you do, you have a space in here for the fragrance and a card that has a very sexual scene on it. Man and a woman getting it on, and it says Skin on Skin. And then your fragrance, of course, will sit securely inside. So a really big box, very sort of awkwardly shaped, kind of like a Jack-in-the-Box shape. Don't know if I like it, but that's what you get. And then the actual bottle, Skin on Skin, L'Artisan Parfumeur, has that sort of octagon shape with the same cap and a decent atomizer. The difference is just the bottle is rounder. I'm sorry, not rounder, just lower down and more wide. So I like the bottle. It looks kind of fits awkwardly on a shelf. The box is nice. I don't know that the box is anything to really go bananas about, though. And to me, this is a really good fragrance. Very simple, despite the notes all being sort of different. Feels extremely familiar, and right off the bat in Bendel, it reminded me of 2 Scents for some reason. It has a bougie sweetness at top that reminded me of Amber Narguilé. And then as it settles down, you start to get the leather and iris, and it reminds me of that makeup bag quality that Dior Homme has. And if you folks know me, you know that those are 2 favorites of mine, so a scent that evokes both for me is going to do really well. So what can you expect from this is a very boozy opening, a sweet boozy opening of saffron and whiskey. That's going to go for about a half hour, and as it starts to dry down and enter its second phase, you'll pick up iris, suede, and leather. Slowly but surely, they will all peek their heads out. The final stage of this is where I think skin-on-skin reference really comes to play, because it starts to get a little dirty and musky. Now, that musk is always there. Really, as soon as you spray this on your skin, you'll find a hint of that musk underneath everything else. It's almost like a dirty cumin thing that's very faint throughout the entire fragrance. So I really do get the skin-on-skin name of this fragrance: leather, whiskey, and musk. The sexual connotations are through the roof here. You could see that through the card that came in the box. And make no mistake about this, this is a very, very sexy fragrance. And I'll be honest, it also feels a bit like another Duchaux scent that he also did for L'Artisan called Traversée du Bois 4. That has a leather and iris note in it as well. They're very similar in the opening, but skin on skin is much stronger, dirtier, and more nuanced. Unisex scent, very much so unisex. Men and women can both easily pull this off. As far as time of the year for this, guys, you're going to want to wait till the fall, winter, and spring. It's too rich and heavy for summer. Dates are a really good occasion to wear this. I think it could do well both on formal and casual occasions as well, but I don't know that I consider this to be a work scent. Performance is very good on this, as it is an EDP concentration. It should last about 8 hours easily and project for most of that time, and it will definitely leave a sillage trail. At $280, this is a lot of money to spend on a fragrance that isn't completely unique. At $140, I would say this is a steal and something anyone who loves fragrance should try to pick up. But at $280, I'd give this a 6 out of 10. It's a really good smelling fragrance that has a ton going on for it. It's interesting. The presentation is nice, although it's a little chunky for my likes, and this fragrance performs quite well. Whether you're okay with spending $280 on a fragrance like this is obviously a call that you're going to have to make on your own, but if you're a Duchaux 4 fan, then I would definitely recommend checking this out. Anyway, that has been this week's review of Skin on Skin by L'Artisan Parfumeur, Explosion d'Emotion line. We will be back next week for a review. I promise you, you guys are going to like it. It's a really high-end scent that I'm sure people are going to want to see this review from me, so it'll be there. We'll have at least 2, maybe 3 videos next week. Remember to check out my blog where I explain why I buy everything that I buy, MaximilianMustKnow.com. I'm Maximilian.
I gotta tell you something you don't want to hear.